everyone and welcome to part 10 of my F1 2016 career mode series here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. And yes, I am not going crazy when I say the Hungarian Grand Prix. I have an apology to make, guys. When I came to edit the British Grand Prix today, in fact I came to edit it, it turned out that my Elgato hadn't actually captured any of the British Grand Prix. So there's nothing I can do. I've lost the whole race, the 100% race I did, especially for you guys, and it has gone. So we have no British Grand Prix and we're having to skip straight to Hungary. I'll give you a quick recap of what happened in Silverstone. We took pole position in wet conditions and with a full wet setup on the car. The race was set to be full wet conditions, so we had a full wet setup on the car. It in fact dried out after 20 laps and our 20-second lead over the field gradually diminished, and Sebastian Vettel took his maiden win of the season at Silverstone, and we finished in fourth. No, we finished in third, sorry. We finished in third. We passed Daniel Ricciardo right at the death for third place, and Kimi Raikkonen got second for a Ferrari 1-2. So I'm sorry about that, but we're here in Hungary now for a 50% race around the Hungaroring. Here we are in track acclimatization, getting a purple score. And here we are on the tyre wear test. Look at the top of the screen, look at it and remember it, because we are ever so close to passing the tyre wear test. We are so close. We didn't pass it in Silverstone. We haven't passed it at all this season. The closest we came was Baku and we mucked it up on the final lap. But we're down on our delta time on this tyre wear test going into the final corner. Are we going to be able to do it? We just need a green lap, one green lap, and we finally got resource points from this test, and we're going to get it on the line. We have. We've done it. We've passed the tyre wear test at last. It's been a long time coming, but there it is. Officially, we have passed the tyre wear test on F1 2016, and that was a great moment. It really was. It was such a good moment. To finally pass that flipping tyre wear test, because we haven't been able to pass it. So hopefully that gives us some encouragement going into the weekend that the tyre wear isn't going to be too bad. Here we are on qualifying pace tests then, and well, from the high of the tyre wear test to the low of the qualifying pace test. Yeah, we failed the qualifying simulation test. I think the setup we're running is I don't know, I think it's a bit more geared up towards the race, but it doesn't matter because the qualifying pace just wasn't there. In practice, Daniel Ricciardo absolutely dominated practice 1, 2 and 3. I think he topped nearly every single session. I think Rosberg might have topped one, but Rosberg did the majority. There are our resource points that we've collated so far in practice, and now it's our qualifying goals.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
So the usual stuff: fifth beat Rosberg, beat Daniel Ricciardo. Might be a bit of a tricky one to do here, but anyway, yeah, it's going to be tricky here, I think, because we haven't been quick in practice so far. But I believe we're going to upgrade our car for the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim. We're going to have a slightly weighter engine cover, but it's time for qualifying.
We hope you're looking forward to today's qualifying in Hungary as much as we are. We think it's going to be a cracker.
So here we are in Quali 2. We're trying to get through to Q3 on the soft compound tyres because, well, it's the sort of track where tyre wear is pretty high, so we don't really want to start on the super softs unless we can avoid it. But here we are coming to the end of the lap now. It's been a bit of a... to be fair, the lap felt okay, to be brutally honest. The lap didn't feel that bad at all, but it was just slow. That's all I can say. It wasn't the best. It just was a slow lap on those. The just pace difference between the super softs and the softs was just too big, so we had to go out again on a set of super soft tyres, because as you can see, we are currently P11 at the moment. Valtteri Bottas is P10 on the soft compound tyres. He's made the same gamble that we have, but I'm not sure whether Bottas is going to stay in the top 10, because we are up on our delta time at the moment and we weren't that far off beating Bottas. And we come through the final corner, open the DRS, and as we come across the line we go P6. in the qualifying session, and we actually fall to P7. Bottas misses out. We knock out Valtteri Bottas from qualifying 2. As you can see, the pace differential from Kimi Raikkonen, who topped Q2, we're quite a way off. So we're going to... it's damage limitation here at the end of qualifying 3. Our first lap on a used set of super softs has put us P8 on the grid. At the moment, we are... That's where we're starting. We're starting in P8. It's not very good, but we are up in our delta time on our brand new fresh set of super soft tyres. Now as we come through the penultimate corner now, we are up on our delta time, understandably, but where is that going to put us on the grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix? We struggle and slide through the final corner, open the DRS, don't run too wide on the exit, and it puts us P5, where we're targeted to qualify. We've hit our qualifying goal, and we've qualified in 5th place for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Our teammate Daniel Ricciardo takes pole position here in Budapest, and he's been absolutely flying all weekend. I think he's topped FP1, FP2, FP3, and now qualifying. And Daniel Ricciardo is going to take some beating on Sunday afternoon. Vettel is 2nd, Raikkonen is 3rd, Rosberg is 4th. Then it's us. We've beaten the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, but where is Mercedes pace? They're still top of the performance index, and their best car is 4th. The other one is 6th. I just don't get it. For me, the performance index is a lie. I think Red Bull, us, and Ferrari have both jumped Mercedes. It's the only explanation I have at the moment, that the performance index is somehow just incorrect. It's the only explanation I have, as we're here with all the resource points that we have collated from the weekend. And in the rivalry, Rosberg is going to claw a few points back, although we were quicker in Sector 1. We've been so dominant in Sector 1 all weekend. I think we're even purple on our best qualifying lap time. So we've only lost about 3 points in the end to Nico Rosberg, so that's not too bad. So we're still leading the rivalry. I mean, the driver position, this should be pretty secure. We didn't beat Ricciardo, but we beat our qualifying goal. And now it's time for our race goals, I think.
Hi, guess who? I've seen the team's expectations for the race, so I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
So exactly the same as qualifying. 5th beat Rosberg, beat Ricciardo, and then there's the B6 in the drivers' standings, but we're going to beat that one for sure because we are leading the drivers' championship by over 50 points at the moment, although Vettel did gain some points, as I said, in Silverstone, and I believe now we're actually going to make that engine cover upgrade because we couldn't afford to do it before qualifying. So there we go. It's now time to go to the grid here in Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
We've seen some astonishing Grand Prix here over the years, haven't we? The drama of 2015 is a recent example. Jenson Button's first win on a wet track in 2006, or in 1997, Damon Hill's heartbreak in the Arrows after a late gearbox failure cost him what would have been the team's only ever victory. What a wonderful place this is to come racing today. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking has always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile circuit, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. Let's hope we're in for another one here today.
Everyone's noticed that you've been leading this team recently. A couple more good results, and you'll be the number one.
Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Rosberg, a Red Bull, and Hamilton, Massa, Alonso, Button, and Daniel Kvyat.
Right, so here is the race strategy for today's Hungarian Grand Prix. It's going to be a 2-stop. It's either going to be super soft, soft to medium, or super soft, medium, medium. Depends how the tyre wear is. We went harder on the tyre allocation, so we do have an extra set of medium compound tyres to use in this race as we get the formation lap underway. It's pretty overcast. The last time we raced in conditions like this was in Russia, and we did not have a good race on the same compounds of tyre. So this is going to be a very interesting race here in Hungary. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights. Dump the clutch and away we go. We've had a decent start, but the top guys have all had pretty good starts, so it's going to be difficult to challenge them. Going down into turn 1, we've got Rosberg on our right hand side. We're going to take the inside line of Kimi Raikkonen. We can't get fully to the inside because Rosberg's there. We got the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, and around the outside of Nico Rosberg, Daniel Ricciardo has been jumped by Sebastian Vettel off the line, and Ferrari now lead this race as we go wide in turn 2, forcing Rosberg out wide. That's allowed Kimi Raikkonen to try and get past the Mercedes, and Raikkonen's been shoved out off the circuit by the German, and now Rosberg holds fourth. We're now chasing down Daniel Ricciardo along with Sebastian Vettel, the two leaders in this race. We've had a good start up to third. We're all over the back of Ricciardo. Can we have a look into the chicane? We've got the inside line. We've been forced to move, but Ricciardo manages to hang it around the outside of the chicane and holds on to second place and does not lose any more positions from pole position here, as we're now coming to the end of the middle sector. We are at this phase of the race quicker than Ricciardo. Vettel's starting to pull away. Rosberg's there waiting for us to make a mistake, as we now do make a mistake down into the third to last corner, and Ricciardo has just scampered away, and Rosberg now is on the back of us. The proximity arrows are there, as is Kimi Raikkonen, and our chance of being able to pass Daniel Ricciardo down into turn 1 seems to have escaped us for now, as we now are going to have a look at a replay of that start. Here it is on the cinematics. Ricciardo didn't get a great start compared to Sebastian Vettel, who just launched off the line, had the inside line as well, just to rub salt into the wounds of Daniel Ricciardo. We then go through the middle of Raikkonen and Rosberg, as we then hold the inside line as Ricciardo is having a look at Vettel. We just outbrake ourselves into turn 2 a little bit, force Rosberg out wide. That allows Raikkonen to get in the mix with Rosberg, and as we go through turn 3, Rosberg just shoves Raikkonen off the circuit, as here we are with the start from Sebastian Vettel. Seamless getaway and just pulls straight off into turn 1. Absolutely beautiful start by the 4-time world champion. And now we look at our teammates' front wing cam as Vettel just pulls alongside Daniel Ricciardo and then just slowly pulls ahead going into turn 1. Ricciardo a little bit later on the brakes, as you can see, but Vettel just with that inside line as they get oh so close to touching on the exit of turn 1, and that is move done for Sebastian Vettel here today. As we now have a look at the front wing cam of Kimi Raikkonen, we'll get a good view of the tussle between me and Rosberg, I think, as you can see Vettel getting the job done on Daniel Ricciardo, as we then go, me and Rosberg both go up the inside of Raikkonen. Hamilton and Massa want to try and join the party as well, but just aren't able to do it. As you can see here, we run a bit wide. Rosberg leaves a bit too much space, and Raikkonen just says thank you very much and tries to take the position before Rosberg shoves him out onto the curb and into the runoff area. And we'll now get the point of view from Nico Rosberg in the Mercedes, who has been our closest title challenger for most of the season, but now with that win in Silverstone, Sebastian Vettel is now our title rival at the moment. So with Vettel now leading the Grand Prix, that's not good in that respective fight in the championship, but Rosberg is still our rival, and therefore we needed to pass him as quickly as possible, as we see Rosberg pushing Raikkonen out again. Now at the end of lap 5, start of lap 6, if you can look up ahead, Daniel Ricciardo is now challenging Sebastian Vettel for the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Down into turn 1, Ricciardo looks like he's got the job done on Sebastian Vettel, and Red Bull now have a 1-3 in this race. Let's get a replay so we can have a proper look at what happened. Simple DRS overtake by Daniel Ricciardo up the inside of Sebastian Vettel, and Ricciardo now leads the Hungarian Grand Prix. As now at the end of lap 6, Daniel Ricciardo has now come into the pits. The race leader is going for the undercut. Vettel has stayed out, as now on lap 7 we're going to react and pit 1 lap earlier than we really wanted to, although the tyres were starting to go off. We're now going to respond and pit now as we get very wide and onto the grass in the pit entry and almost hit that tyre barrier that is weirdly placed in this Hungarian pit lane. As we now come down the pit lane, Vettel's in, as is Nico Rosberg, and we get a very good pit stop. Is at 2.5 seconds there by the Red Bull boys. That's a pretty good stop by Red Bull. And where's that going to put us out when we're going to rejoin behind Daniel Ricciardo? The undercuts worked a treat for Ricciardo. We've gone onto the medium compound tyres, as have Sebastian Vettel. Rosberg has gone onto the softs, but he's rejoined behind the two Saubers of Ericsson and Nasser. Ricciardo's fitted the softs, so he'll want to get some clean air as quickly as he can, as now on lap 20, Ricciardo makes his pit stop. While we were on the medium compound tyres, I promise you nothing happened. The guys in front of us pulled away, and Rosberg slowly started to catch us, as now on lap 22, Daniel Ricciardo is all over us. He's already made his pit stop, as you would have seen, and Ricciardo's going to the end on this set of mediums. Rosberg has also pitted, but we need to get the stint length of the medium compound tyres. We need to take them to about lap 25. The earliest is lap 23, really. But I wanted to get them to lap 25 because I'm unsure about how long the soft compound tyres are going to go. And the mediums have been shocking as we let Ricciardo through. The mediums have been an awful tyre, and I don't want to put them on again. We've had no pace on them and just no grip at all, and the overcast conditions have not helped with the high operating temperature that the medium compound tyre like to be at. So as we now come into the pit lane on lap 23, we've had to just roll the dice and come in as early as we can because Rosberg has got like a 3-4 lap undercut on us at the moment. So he's gonna jump us, so we can't afford to dilly-dally. We just need to get the fresh tyres on, get track position, and then we're just gonna have to defend like crazy as we now come down the pit lane with a mega stop from the Red Bull boys. That 1.8 seconds, that's going to put us in the hunt. But as you can see, Hamilton has jumped us as well as Nico Rosberg, and Hamilton is about 2 or 3 seconds down the road already. So we've lost out big time, although all these guys are on the medium compound tyre. As now on lap 25, we're going purple through the first and now the middle sector of this Hungarian Grand Prix. Here at the Hungaroring, I should say. Vettel posts a new fastest lap of the race. He's on the soft compound tyre as well as he tries to hunt down Daniel Ricciardo. Raikkonen is in 6th, but he's got technical problems with that Ferrari, so he's not going to be a threat. This is now just a race for the podium between me, Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, who's just a little bit further down the track. As into turn 1 we go. We're too far back to have a lunge at Hamilton, but we've got the DRS now. On the run down to turn 2, we have to make the move stick before our tyres start to go off. We have a look up the inside of turn 2. We almost make contact, but Hamilton gives us the space. We take it. We move up into P4. We now are ahead of the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. And boy, we've got to see a replay of that as we go purple through sector 1. We're flying at the moment. We've got to hunt down Rosberg now, as we are going to see a replay from our front wing cam. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, that was close. That was close. Hamilton turned into the corner, saw us steaming up the inside and turned out of it and just about gave us the space. We're very lucky that he did turn out, because otherwise I think we would have come off worse in that collision. It's now on lap 28, I think 29 now. Hamilton is all over us. We're having to defend. We didn't manage to catch Rosberg in time, and Hamilton started battling with us, and that's not good for our race. It's not good at all, because now we're battling. We're going to hold each other up as we show Hamilton the outside line into turn 2. We go a bit tight on the apex, and luckily Hamilton doesn't seize the opportunity to go around the outside of turn 2. And now we cut all the way onto the end of that lap now, the end of lap 29, the start of lap 30. We once again battling with Lewis Hamilton down the main straight. As you can see, we put it up into Rich. We've got so much fuel to burn in this race. We put an extra couple of laps of fuel in and then didn't really use it, but luckily we are starting to try and burn it off at the moment as we're battling Lewis Hamilton for 4th place here. But we're just not catching Rosberg at all at the moment. And that's what we need to do. We are catching some back markers though, and that is going to be crucial for our race. Now we are starting to catch some back markers here at the end of lap 30. It's Kevin Magnussen in the Renault, and we are going to get it. We're going to catch him in the perfect place. We're going to catch him in the perfect place, providing we can pass him down into turn 1, and hopefully we can put cars between us and Lewis Hamilton to allow us to scamper off after Nico Rosberg. Magnussen goes for the inside line as if he's defending from us, and we have to go out onto the marbles and go around the outside, and Hamilton now just breezes past Magnussen, who lets him through. For crying out loud, K-Mag, you're not helping us out. You didn't help us at Silverstone, and now he hasn't helped us here at all, as now on lap 32 we're under pressure from Lewis Hamilton here. We're having to defend going down the pit straight. We're catching Rio Haryanto, I think, in the manor. Rosberg has managed to pass that manor as well, as we park it on the apex of turn 1 to stop Hamilton getting the cut back on the exit, as he's got DRS on the run down to turn 2 at the moment. We need to get Haryanto in between us and Hamilton. As it stands at the moment, we've managed to defend into turn 2 as we now head through turn 3. We need to pass Haryanto as soon as we can, because we don't want to catch him in that middle sector, because he's going to be a nightmare to get past. As we come over the top of the hill, we've got to try it. Come on, Rio, let us through. The door's open. We forced it open. We go through, and Hamilton's been hit. Hamilton and Haryanto have collided. The Manor Mercedes takes out the Works Mercedes. And what has happened here? Rio Haryanto, what has he done? He didn't really let us through. We had to take to the grass, and he mustn't have seen Hamilton coming, because he's turned back onto the racing line as Hamilton was trying to get through, and he's taken out Lewis Hamilton, the world champion, who luckily can still keep going. And now Jolyon Palmer's had an engine failure as well. But Hamilton is still in this race. He's got no damage, but he's fallen to 8 seconds behind us now, with just a handful of laps to go, and we cut onto the final lap. Hamilton has not managed to catch us. Our tyres have fallen right off the cliff. We're driving on ice at the moment. It's that bad. Rosberg has pulled away, but Daniel Ricciardo wins the race. Here's his team radio. And we're now going to come through here, the final corner. It's been a tough race. It's not been the most exciting race, I'll admit, as Naz has got a puncture up ahead of us, which is the cause of yellow flags. But we're going to come for 4th place here at Hungary. Not the podium we could have had. We made a mistake on the strategy, I think, and we let Rosberg through.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I'm going to go for Marcus Ericsson.
So, Daniel Ricciardo wins the Hungarian Grand Prix from Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg. Not great, really, those 3 finishing in front of us. Our teammate, our championship rival, and our rival. We're 4th. We managed to beat Lewis Hamilton from Fernando Alonso. Raikkonen drops down the field with his technical problems. Bottas gets in the points, as does Massa and Jenson Button as well. Marcus Ericsson weirdly gets driver of the day. I don't know what Anthony Davidson was watching, to be brutally honest. As in the Drivers' Championship, we lead the way by 47 points, is that? My preview's not that big. Vettel is our nearest challenger at the moment. He's had a good couple of rounds. Ricciardo's jumped up to 3rd, which is good as well. Rosberg and Hamilton, they're just not really in it at the moment. And Raikkonen is not in this title fight, I do not think. The reason we're doing so well, because no one is directly challenging us. It's a new driver at each race, pretty much, that's taking the win. It's a different driver. We don't have one consistent championship rival. And as we are consistent, we are having a great championship so far, as Red Bull still lead the way from Ferrari and Mercedes. Not a great day for Ferrari with Raikkonen down the field, so it's allowed us just to pull away slightly in the Constructors' Championship. So at the midway point of this 2016 World Championship, Red Bull Racing are in a very good position as it stands. But of course, there's still a long way to go in this championship. Here's all the resource points we have collated from the race. Of course, we did that chassis weight upgrade, which will come to Hockenheim. Let's have a look at the rivalry. And oh yes, he may have beaten us in the race, but we set a faster lap and a faster first, second and final sector, and it means we are within touching distance of finally beating Nico Rosberg in the rivalry. We are so close to doing it at the moment. We are so close. We just need a decent qualifying, and we might, just might, do it in Germany. Rosberg's home race. Driver position is good, and here is the career score if you are interested in comparing it to your own. So there we go. And I believe our agent wants to talk to us now.
Hey, you'll like this. I just got out of a meeting with the boss and, well, congratulations. You've done a great job. Here.
After a long wait, it's taken us to the midway point of the season, but we've been promoted to #1 driver on the day Daniel Ricciardo wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. I might have to go and buy him a beer for that one. But yes, we've finally been promoted to #1 driver. It's been a long time coming. We've been in the purple of the driver position pretty much since Bahrain. So we will get 25% bonus on our resource points from every session, if I'm right, which will help us dearly as we try to win this World Championship. Here's the trophy room. No new trophy today, which is a bit of a shame. As you can see, it's a fairly similar trophy room in the second half of the season. I said the second third of the season was going to be a lot tougher than the first. But we haven't done too badly so far. We haven't finished second, I've noticed as well, so far this season. It's been the best being we finished first, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. So something to bear in mind going into the next half of the season. But thank you guys very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'll be back in Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. So until next time, guys, I'll see you around. Adios, amigos.